Hi, Cancer. Welcome to May. May, the merry month of May. And we are here to do a yin and yang reading for you for the month. Let's do it. You'll notice here that I have a big triangle here, and we have three smaller triangles here. It's all one big ship, one spiritual biosphere. It wants to be considered as one dynamic. So a biosphere, a living, breathing organism, something that grows, something that flourishes, something that is alive. Okay, so what we have here is we have the archetypal forces, we have the major arcana, divine influence, if you will. And these are the blended energies, and they pertain to this, which is yin, and this, which is yang. So one entity here, one entity here, one entity here, making one entity. And we'll start with the influences that are the umbrella over the spiritual biosphere in which we're operating. So take a look at this, what came out of the deck. The moon, the sun, and in the era where the Royal Visconti was produced, they didn't call it the star. They called it the stars. So you have moon, sun, and stars. And the impression I got, instead of typical major arcana reference points, it seems like this is making a statement. This is the prow of the ship, of course, and the moon is running the show. The moon is at the point where you cut into the waves, you head forward. So a very much leader of the charge aspect of the major arcana influences. And yet, what the focus wants to be, I think, is the moon, the sun, and the stars as we walk around in our daily world, and we can say that to anyone, and then everyone will know what we're talking about. They'll know what the moon is, they'll know what the sun is, and they'll know what the stars are. Okay, but perhaps the drive here, the idea for Cancer in May, is to consider that. Pick it apart. Look at the distinctions. The moon, here. Our buddy, the earth buddy. The Cancer, mother of all. So we go from close to further away to furthest away, right? And so what will we start to contemplate if we start to just say moon, the sun, the stars, the moon, the sun, the stars? Well, we start to see a progression. We start to see our place, because by identifying the dynamics of the construction, the moon and us, the sun and us, and then the stars and us, the energy wants to work its way backward and gives you a keen insight into where we are in the works. And I thought this was so funny. I laughed out loud when I dealt these cards out, and here we go with things being in this arrangement. However, let's take that umbrella concept and apply it as we talk about yin and then as we talk about yang. Just keep that awareness of the idea of where are we? Where are we? And if we start to say where are we, the implied question that's going to follow on the heels of saying where are we is where are we going? And let's go to yin and find out where yin is going in May. Yin is going to start out in its own progression at the prow of the yin ship is the Page of Cups. A beautiful rendition. And then we have the Queen of Cups, a relative, the grand matron of the family. And then the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the page here that is on the platform of two queens. And whereas normally I break these two into what you want to do during the month and then what the solution is during the month, I want to take it this month for Cancer Yin and just say, let's consider this a platform. And what the commonalities that play off in here are the fact that they're both queens. So if we're playing off that, then all we have to look at is the distinction of, which queens? And what we have is the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, water and earth. The two things that really, if you're in outer space, and you look down at the planet Earth, what do you see? You see water and earth. This is a very cosmic reading, I think, and so the Queen is within Yin. That is the sacred feminine, just a couple of different aspects of the grand totality of the sacred feminine. And that's your platform for the month of May. What is that platform, though, supporting? What's it holding up? What's it presenting to the world or to the cosmos, etc.? Well, it's presenting the Page of Cups, a new endeavor in the world of emotions, some kind of a new turn on your life that is something you've done before, but it's a new way to do it. Yin. Let's go to Yang. Yang, your sacred masculine is something that wants attention. Not attention like it's hurting, but rather to play it out in a day-to-day fashion during the month of May, the aspects of the sacred masculine. And what do I mean by that? Well, what you do, what you say matters. What you do, what you say is how other people perceive us and how our law of attraction world tends to coagulate things around us. If we can go here, let's go to the possibility that as without, so within, when it's what's inside and what's outside is in symmetrical alliance, you are a whole being and you are integrated. And it's like, it doesn't get any better than that in a certain way. So what's driving however, what's at the prow of your ship? And that's, just like here was the Page of Cups, the Page of Cups is at yours too. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, the divine masculine, in this aspect, it's a part of your nature that is been with you all your existence and wants to be drawn from, especially in the month of May. And being a Cancer as you are, that should be an easy task, to reach down into yourself and to pull out that watery nature aspect of your soul, whether you're a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancer, that part of you that is in touch with the heart. Right? And so the heart is at the prow of your ship, wants to be the one that cleaves the waves through the water as the ship makes its way through the month of May. And just remember, to bring along with that concept, bring the simplicity of a page mentality. So, you want to get in your chariot and ride? If you do, then remember this. Remember we were talking about the moon, the sun, and the stars. Now, what's not here is the earth, right? Here's the earth. Why do I say that? Because the chariot is, if you look on some of the older decks, including this one, the chariot's wheels are half buried in the earth, implying that as the chariot moves, it is moving in sync with the earth. It is the motion of the earth that is the motion of the chariot. It's not going around and buzzing here and there, although you can do that. But that's not the intent of the chariot card. In that case, then let's move to what do you want to get out of the month of May if there's anything to be gotten? Well, why don't you walk into the King of Pentacles right here? Walk into, just like disappear, absorb your malleable self into the king. Be the king. Become for a moment like a shaman who can go into the bodies of animals or creatures. But in this way, be the shaman of yourself and embody into the king for a moment. What can you expect if you do that? Well, I can say some possibilities. What is the king, the best kings, supposed to purportedly be? They're supposed to be servants of the people. And I can see how one could walk into the king's shoes and to feel like a servant, because all of a sudden you're on 24/7. You don't get any downtime. I mean, everything you do is looked at, everything you say, everything you think is, and people are looking at you. You're almost God-like, but you're not God. And it's you who has to first know that, and then to convey that and radiate it out. That's another thing you can experience. But you can also occupy that masterful part of the king, who is the one who does know. That's why he's the king. He does know. And what does he know? He knows about matters of the world. He knows about matters of life. And if you relate this back to this, I think this king will benefit greatly. Remember we were talking about back here about the idea of knowing your place in the universe by contemplating the moon, the sun, and the stars. Well, him knowing his place makes him a better king. And with that, I'm going to end for the day, and I'm going to wish you well. See you next month. I'll be back. And until then, be well. Love you all. Bye for now.
Mm-hmm.